Buddy, indeed. What is good? Welcome into Drive the Line. My name is Alan Bell. Wonderful Greg Batson right there, California Wager. Greg, how we doing, buddy?
Good. Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are doing well.
Happy Tuesday. And
we'll hope we didn't have an opening stroke here, although we know it's happened before, so we'll see what happens. Not sure if Alan locked up for a minute, but we'll see for a minute. Hope everybody's doing well. Happy Tuesday. We'll see if we need to relink it or if he'll be able
there we
to
go. Hey, we're just going to start this thing over now. I'm kidding. All right. What makes it a good Tuesday? Dude, how funny was that, right? All right. What makes a good Tuesday, though, is looking back at how we did on Monday. And we'll take this, man. All right. Schwarber hits a bomb. The Twins, White Sox over 7.5, got that. Red Sox over, Orioles over 9, got that. UNLV, Cal Baptist over 11.5, got that. Cubs, A's, both teams score 3+ runs, got that one. Braves, Dodgers over 8, gross. That ends at what, 6-1? The Braves are in serious trouble. And the Rockies, Phillies over 8.5. I'm glad that the Phillies picked it up there in the last 2 innings, but would have been nice if they would have, tried to play the entire game. But you know what? Hey, we're not going to ask. All right. Hit the Discord. It's free. All right. The crew is absolutely crushing it. All right. Jump in there. I'm telling you, it's like you get the show all day long. Okay. It's absolutely fantastic, man. And again, it's free. So go ahead and jump in there. Okay. Now, my boy. All right. So we're going to jump into the picks first, as we do. Okay. Let's hit them. And then you've got some college baseball as well, because we're kind of getting lines coming out a little bit late, and we'll have totals. I'm sure that they'll post them 20 minutes right after this show. So go ahead and get started, man. Lead us off. What you got?
Yeah, today we've got, the come to the off tournaments for basketball. We had the interesting one in Vegas start last night as well, but we're going to keep riding along with who's gotten us here. We'll take UC Irvine today plus the points. I think it's really great value getting them with a plus number. We'll take Loyola Chicago as well. I think they're playing well. I've enjoyed what I've seen from them. It's been a weird, amount of off days with them waiting for the other tournaments, but I think that this is a good spot for them to handle business pretty much at a real low number. I think that they'll be able to handle late free throws. They've done a really nice job through the tournament right now, and I expect that to continue. We're going to two-time it on the Giants today. I love what I've seen with San Francisco so far. I think they're in a pretty darn good position right now. I like what the offense is doing. I really like the mindset of this team, and they're getting leadership across the board. Great defensive play last night again, getting the big hits when they need it. And so we jumped on the Giants money line. We jumped on that first 5 team total over 1.5. I like the way they've been producing, playing small ball as well as putting the ball in the ballpark like they did last night. So love the position for it. We took a Final Four parlay with the women. Bounced back again. Took both of these last weekend for members, and we'll do it again. I think that South Carolina is in a good position. That number's lower than I expected, to be honest with you. We use that for our advantage. We'll take that. We'll team it up with UConn, make that minus 110 for both those guys. I have UConn to win the whole thing. For anybody who's invested or wants to jump in as well, I think the Huskies now, with everything that's gone down, are the strongest overall team. Depth, coaching, consistency, and it can hit the 3 ball with a star, so always helps. But I think that'll be a real fun Final Four. And then we mentioned college baseball today. I'm going to jump on Arizona money line today, around 160-ish that I saw for the Wildcats. And then we are going to jump on the Irvine train again today. We're going to go St. Mary's and Irvine with a money line parlay today. I like the spot with Irvine. They'll play USD. And then I do really like St. Mary's today at home, going against Cal State Northridge, who's had a weird game, weird season to say the least, coming off a massive letdown on Sunday where they gave up, 8 runs in the 9th to Hawaii to blow it. I think that carries over. A strange travel spot. Moraga is always an interesting place to play midweek. If it gets in today, it is pouring rain here still in the Bay Area, so we'll see what happens, but be excited for those plays today.
There we go, man. Great job. All right, now the college baseball, say it one more time. What's the first one that you have?
Arizona money line.
Okay, and Arizona Wildcats money line. Then you got a 2-leg parlay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yep, and then we will parlay with St. Mary's for our first piece of it, and then we will add Irvine as well.
So you see Irvine?
Yes, Irvine for basketball today, Irvine for baseball today.
There we go. Nice job. Nice job. All right. So we'll have plenty more college baseball at 3 p.m. Eastern today. I'm driving the Nightline, but we do have Major League Baseball. We're going to jump on the Mets Marlins over 7.5. Yes, I know. Sandy Alcantara is throwing for the Marlins. However, I don't care. This is going to be a nice scoring game here. Take that over 7.5. I feel you on the Giants, bro. Look, we're going to take it over 8 again. I always hate like when we have multiple people that are like kind of on the same play, because I don't hate it. Let me rephrase. It causes a lot of different ways to look at it. I think that all three of these, honestly, are the absolute right way to look at it. Everything you said about the San Francisco Giants, completely agree. Couple that with the Houston Astros here, I think it is a great spot for hitting. So I feel you on the Giants money line. I feel you on the Giants first 5, team total over 1.5. And quite frankly, I think that, the dessert on the table of dinner entrees that Greg's provided, and over 8 is a nice one here. So kind of blends all together. I like the fact that we're both thinking in the exact same way. And we didn't talk about this either. You know what I mean? So that's what I like the most about it. And then finally, the Diamondbacks Yankees over 8.5. We're not going to get 17-mile-an-hour winds blowing out. However, I don't really care. All right, because the Yankees, they're using a new bat, is what I hear, Greg. Is that correct?
I've heard there's apparently a bowling pin being used this year out there, so we'll see. It's an interesting piece. I'm intrigued to get my hands on one. I kind of call it like a glorified fungo, but we'll see.
It is a glorified fungo, and it's funny that you say that because DTL is getting a torpedo right here from Victus, $199.99, a little expensive for a wood bat here. However, we have found it. All right, drop weight, approximately -3. All right, Maplewood, big league grade, ink dot certified, warranty 61 days is a little concerning on that one. Made to order and ships in 5 to 7 days. I seriously doubt that, but okay, there it is right there. You got the flared knob too. All right, that's what we're going with. And you're right. What'd you call it? A bowling pin?
Yeah, it looks like a bowling pin too.
Yeah, there it is. So I went and found it, and I was like, oh, okay, let's see how fast we can get it. I don't look, and this is nothing against the company. However, I think that there's going to be a lot of people buying it. But the fact that it's a wood bat and not a metal, not a lot of kids are going to be picking this one up. But I'll tell you this. So Victus, it's the same company. Have you ever seen the pencil bat?
Yeah.
That looks like a pencil? Yeah. They're the same folks that make those, dude.
Those have good return records. Those pencil bats, those things jump.
Yeah, they do jump, man. They do. Okay. All right. So that is our picks right there. Now, here's what I want to do. Let's jump into, first I want to hit some comments. All right. Then I want to jump into college basketball men's side for the Final Four because there's a couple more ways, all right, that I want to take a look. And we're going to play some games. You like playing games, my boy?
Of course.
I like playing games too. Yeah, Randall says we need a metal one. We do need a metal one. Avi said put a T on it. Hey, look, I'm trying to find a metal one and send it over to the Vols there. That's a team that really need a little more assistance hitting. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we're going to definitely do that one. Yeah, look at the fat net barrel. I know. Like, the design is awesome. The design is absolutely awesome. Now, Goat said, AB, I've always loved Braves baseball, but sadly they suck this year. I'll tell you why really quickly, okay? Now, this isn't the only reason, but it's the main reason, all right? And the main reason is no Ronald Acuna, duh, okay? But let me tell you why. Ronald Acuna, him being out, is the equivalent of 2-star players being injured at the same time. And here's why. Number one, not only does Ronald Acuna hit for power, okay, but he gets on base a lot. And couple that with, right after it, he's the best base stealer in Major League Baseball. So the threat of him being on first base and him moving himself over to second base on his own so much through the year, it literally, man, is like playing with 4 outs. It's like you get 4 outs because you get a free bunt to move him over, okay? So not only all that, but everyone hitting behind Ronald Acuna legitimately becomes a better hitter because, Greg, you could hit on this. Pitching sequences physically change when you have a Ronald Acuna on first base, especially if he's the leadoff hitter in the inning with no outs and it's a tight ball game. It literally affects the pitching sequences of throwing to the next three guys in the lineup, because you have to keep an eye on Acuna. You cannot let him take second, and he's going to do it, right? So then you either walk, the next guys, or you're throwing meatballs right over the plate. And Ronald Acuna, because of his unique skill set, I'm not saying he's the best player in the league. I'm not saying he isn't, but his unique skill set is legitimately a buffet that everyone else behind him gets to eat from. It literally makes everyone look. And what it does when he's out is it exposes you. Look at Matt Olson. He can't hit. All right. Marcell Ozuna, they just walk him because there's no need to pitch to him. Right. So, Greg, I throw it over to you, man. Like, any thoughts? I know that, it's the first time that you're hearing it, but that's the reason, man. And like, there's others. Don't be wrong. It's not just Acuna, but Acuna. This team is built around Acuna being on base because they're legitimately, they're unstoppable. If he gets on base in an inning with one out or fewer, they're going to score. You're playing with 4 outs, man. Throw it over to you. Any thoughts that you have on that?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel the same way with what the Dodgers do with Ohtani,
Yes.
hitting in the second instead. Any other team he'd be hitting third or fourth, and you're just utilizing, the multiple abilities on top of the fact he's a great defender. So, you've also got that, out in the field as well adds to it too. Not only is he taking advantage with, his power hitting, but his ability to run the bases, but he's also taking away outs defensively with, his range and arm, plus ability, and, a guy that a true 5 tool player, that really can do every part of the game. And, we talked about it the other day with teams that are really good are the ones that are able to score runs without, getting hits. There's going to be times where things just aren't going your way. Shit's hitting the fan. Every time you're hitting something hard, it's right at somebody, or, it'll happen. That's how baseball works. It's a strange game sometimes, but when you're able to adapt and manufacture runs and different methods, it, separates the really good teams. And I think that's one reason I think Tennessee is good this year. Tennessee has committed at times to the bunt. You've seen them multiple times where they have sacrificed, and I like that. I think they've got a couple guys just like LSU. I watched the other night. They're up 7 runs, and they're laying down sacrifice bunts with guys on. And it's not always just for this game too. They're getting ready for what's going to be a long season and pressure points, and World Series games aren't going to be blowout, 19-17. These are, it's a much bigger park that people don't, it's not as big as the old Rosenblatt, but it's still big.
It's big, dude. Big. And the wind's rarely blowing out. It's usually good. But you're right. And that's the thing with the Braves, man. Again, it's not just Acuna, but most of it is Acuna, because this lineup, his unique skill set is so perfect for teammates behind him. It literally makes everybody better, or it exposes you.
Yep.
When he's gone. And that's what it's doing. Like Marcell Ozuna, he can still mash, but teams like just walk him. With Acuna in the game, there are some times where it's actually more dangerous to walk Acuna than to just let him hit a solo home run, because him getting on base with no outs generally leads to 2 to 3 runs as opposed to just giving him a home run. Like, I swear to God, man, it's crazy, right? So yeah, I just wanted to hit on that real quick because Goats, I thought you brought up a great point, and that's a big part of it as to why. All right, so getting into college basketball here. Okay, so let's do this. First off, all right, let's take a look at our numbers here. All right, so Liddy said, hey B, I'll be on the ice tonight for the Kings and Winnipeg game. Anyone have a take? Ooh, okay, yeah. Who we got? We got indeed. And hi, Tina. Good to see you. Tina's the best. Okay, so in the tournament, through that tournament, favorites 33-27 against the spread. All right, overs 25-35. So 35 unders, 25 overs. But we're here at the Final Four now, down to 4 teams. All right, Auburn 3-1 against the spread throughout the tournament, 1-3 to the over. Florida 1-3 against the spread, 4-0 to the over. And in fact, Florida, they've hit 11 straight overs. Okay. Duke 3-1 against the spread, 3-1 to the over. Houston 2-2 against the spread, and 1-3 to the over there. Okay. So using that, And then looking at our numbers, all right, Florida and Auburn, nothing's changed. Florida still a 2.5-point favorite, total of 160.5. We've seen Duke rise from -4.5 to -5.5. Total has remained the same at 136.5. So I throw it back at you, boy. Any thoughts that you have?
Yeah, I had it written down. I should send you a screenshot of it. I texted you last night saying everything in me likes Duke. I think it's going to close around 6.5, possibly, depending on public money.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Every model that I keep hearing says it's going to be a really close game with Houston, 1 to 2 point game. And that to me is led me off of touching anything right now. I think if anything, if it gets over 6, it's going to be hard to not want to touch Houston. With the ability they have, the way that they're able to play defense at times, and it's scary. We talked about it yesterday. Duke has been a world beater, but you get up to that certain number and things start. It becomes about the number and not the player. So it gets to a high enough point here, and I'm still not on it yet. But if it keeps rising, it's going to only lead me to the Houston side. Otherwise, I don't need to be tied to Duke. You don't have to bet every play. Yes, it's the Final Four, but you don't always have to touch it. So if it doesn't fit your number or your model, there's a million more games for you to enjoy. And if anything, part of me hopes that it comes down because, it gets to a reasonable number. It's going to be hard to not want to touch Duke. I may end up money lining parlay them with something, but as of right now, it's still, a big of a guessing game to me as it is to you.
Yeah, it's brutal because Houston is lethally good.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that because they beat Tennessee. I mean, we've been talking about Houston all year long. Houston does everything right, but God bless, man. Duke is just, they're a monster, dude. They're an absolute monster. Okay, a couple things in the chat here. Our man Curtis said, wait until Saturday, then going to hammer Houston. Everett is going to be on Duke. Kind of what Greg was saying, right? If we see the number keep going, in Duke's favor, absolutely. Or do we see it go the other way, right? Does the public bet Houston? But Curtis, good point on that one. Our man, Big Brad Betsman, smash the like. Hey, should be back Friday. Oh, man, can't wait to see you, buddy, for sure. We all miss you, man. And, just hope that hope the wife and the young little baby are doing okay. So, and from what I understand that they are, so great, man. And, when you're good to go, we're all good to go. Be good to see you, buddy. Addison said, hey, all, just want to pop in and remind you, friends don't let friends not bet. Ovechkin, third period goal, plus 400. Is he playing tonight? Because I'm in. All right, Addy, we're all in. We're all in. Okay. Now, here is what we have for games. And the crew, we absolutely need you too, okay? So drop your picks in the chat. Or if you're watching afterward, drop them in the comment section or on the Discord. 2 games that we're going to play, okay? Let's get the first one up here. Which is the highest scoring team in the men's Final Four? Florida plus 105, and I'll put this full screen. Florida plus 105, Auburn plus 145, Duke plus 600, and Houston plus 2,000. Where are you going?
I mean, the thought is with it, the Duke-Houston game to me, Houston's going to try to shut it down. I mean, they have to play defensively. They're not going to win an up and down game playing against a team like this. Problem being, it's just such a question mark with some of these college kids at times and how spurts come with this. I'll go out there and say highest scoring team in the tournament is going to be Duke. Boo, boo, boo. But you know what? I expect them to not only play both Final Four games, which already cuts it in half, but I also think they're going to win both games. I also think one of these 2 games they might win with separation, probably the finals. I think that that's more of an opportunity with how Florida and Auburn play versus Houston. I expect Houston to be stubborn, keeping this thing a rock fight, doing the best they can. And Houston can score, but to them, I think they really understand this has to be a defensive struggle. They can't go up and down with this team all day long. Duke's got no problem with playing any style you want. And, I think winning both those games, defensively being able to separate, I'll go with Duke. Give me the 6-1 odds on that.
All right. I like it. And look, you're thinking correctly because you have to, essentially select who's going to be in the national championship? Because you're going to play a second game, obviously, right? So, yeah, like, and we get, I mean, these are obviously 4-1 seeds, you know what I mean? So, I mean, it's tough. Like, I think we could keep Houston out of it just because even if they beat Duke, like, I don't know if they're getting to 66.
Yeah. Them getting 130 points for them in 2 games would be realistic. 70 points a game for them seems a little high almost, especially against the Spurs. So, yeah.
So, okay, so let me say this. So, when you have big teams, the average total that the books are going to put out is about 144.5. Okay. Like if let's just say we get Duke and Auburn, and this is not negative against Houston because Houston, their defense changes totals. We're just using teams that would be just on average with everything else, right? We get Duke or Auburn, we get Duke or Florida. That total's probably going to be 144.5. Probably. Houston dropped that by 12. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's 72 points, half of it, right? I find this one fascinating. I think Auburn's a sneaky play here.
Yeah, that was in my second one.
Yep. Auburn's a sneaky play here. If you think Auburn's going to beat Florida, because the culmination of both games, Auburn's a sneaky play. But I mean, it's like they're giving you Duke at plus 600. And let me just say this. Okay? I'll just go ahead and start this one real quick. Okay? I have a stat of the day for all 4 of the Final 4 teams. And let me just put them out here real quick, and we'll use that. Auburn basketball, they've only hit their team total over in 1 of their last 8 games. 1. Next one. Florida basketball, they've hit the over in 11 straight games. Okay? Houston, they've hit the first half under, all right, 6 of the last 8 games, and now 7 of 9 last games. After Tennessee, they did it as well. Duke basketball, averaging 91.7 points per game through the NCAA tournament. My God. Like, that's crazy. Okay, so does that change your thought process on any of that?
That makes me feel better about it.
There you go.
If Houston shoots like they did the other night,
they didn't miss.
They're gonna. But if they shoot like they did 2 games ago, they're gonna get blown out of the water.
Yeah.
I mean, you start missing shot after shot, those legs defensively get tired, and we know Duke has no issue going up and down. So I think it's fun because realistically, 3 of these 4 could do it. I think Houston says bye, but the 3 of those teams, Florida, you flip a coin each day, and just like Auburn, they're a different offense every possession. They look like an NBA run team at times, and they look like a youth league at times with the way they just throw it all over the place. And it's what makes them fun, but also what makes you want to pull your hair out.
Yep. Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. All right, next game. Okay. Men's NCAA tournament specials, Final 4. All right. Number 1, will every team in the men's Final 4 score 65 plus points? Yes, plus 120. Will every team in the men's Final 4 score 70 plus points, plus 330, 75 plus points, plus 900, 80 plus points, plus 4,000? So are they all 4 getting to 65 points? Yes, plus 120. What do you think?
No, I don't. If anything, that would be it. But, Houston holds me back. To be realistic, that game I think is the one that has the ability to be ground down a little bit, and they're the concern with what can happen lack of offensive wise. So I I would say the plus 60, the 65 maybe, but plus 120 not a ton of value. Otherwise, I would say it's going to be hard to get 70, 75 plus, especially as these games get later. 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 minutes in the second half. Things are going to, I think, get a little bit more, piece by piece. They're going to play possession for possession. These possessions become more valuable later in these games, especially as we're in the Final 4. And, we're going to have more sets, I think, and more slowed down, plays and more organization, I think, than before, where it's just get out and outrun the other team.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I'll say this. what you just said, Roger, the question that you asked kind of tells you not all you need to know, but kind of all you need to know. Where's the no? They ain't offering it. That's why. All right. They ain't giving you a no. It's either yes or you ain't betting it, right? So that'll tell you. But, here's the thing. Two things about it, right? Because, again, we go back to Duke and Houston, right? Number one, Houston's offense is legit. They just haven't needed it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just literally, like, even against Tennessee, it's been the same thing that they've done all year. After halftime, buddy, they weren't playing Tennessee. They were playing the clock. Like they were just like, just run clock. This team ain't gonna. They're not gonna do anything. And I mean, they were right. But Houston's offense can score. I mean, they didn't miss a damn shot against Tennessee, and they're really, really efficient. But here's the other thing too. Not only with Duke, Justin said it in the chat, right? Like, you can't ignore Duke's points. Hell no, you can't. Duke's defense is legit too, man. Like, the boys are playing D. Like, they held Alabama to 65. Them boys ain't no joke, man. So yeah, I'm fascinated with this one. I saw it and I was like, that's an interesting one. Z Money asked a good question here. Largest comeback, 5+ points. Worth a look at Florida, Auburn. They go both. Hell yes, it is. Hell yes. Look at Florida. 2 of their last 3 games, they should have been gone, right? And Auburn will do the same thing. All right. And remember, go back to Auburn is built on first halves. They come out unbelievably aggressive. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Michigan State, it did not. But still put points up, right? But yeah. Like, I say that to say, yeah, you're gonna get some point swings. And trust me, these two teams know each other. Bruce Pearl's been coaching against Florida for a while with a couple different teams. Like, he knows what time it is. Florida knows what time it is. They know each other. Yeah. I love that play, Z Money. That's a great look. It's a great look indeed, man. Justice said, "The devil ain't no volunteer." Oh, dude, you're a beauty, bro. Zach said Houston Duke, both teams score under 69.5 plus 175. That's fascinating. I need to sit on that one. All right. We're going to jump into Major League Baseball here, but I wanted to get a question up for you real quick. Because I have to look more at this. I don't know much off the top of my head. Abby said, Boston College Northeastern total at 12.5. You have any thoughts on that one, Greg?
What was it? Boston College Northeastern?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, midweek totals, kind of like Sundays to us, you've got to be sure who you're getting. Otherwise, hard to not want to lean those overs. Weather's obviously a big factor in, where we're playing, but you look at midweek games, it's hard to look at a team. Tuesday can be a little different because Tuesday you can run your bullpen. You can have them ready for Friday. You can have them ready for the series. However, you're not going to run everybody out there. Making sure you know the lineups, what you're going to get. A lot of teams will run, the freshmen, the red shirts, the younger guys midweek. But at the same time, if a team's not playing great, I think it's an opportunity for them to get everybody in. That's kind of why I liked Arizona. They played poorly against Baylor this weekend until Sunday. I think today's a good bounce back spot for that. I think, however, 12.5, pretty realistic number. That to me, I would lean the over. You're expecting a lot of consistency, and we know what metal bats do quickly. I would lean the over. Blindly, if I was going to go, I would lean the over 12.5.
And I love playing even numbers with a hook because not that it's going to always go in your favor, but if it's two teams that are pretty similar, 6-6 gets you home.
Yep. There's no ties to college baseball. It's not Korean baseball. There's no ties.
Yep, absolutely. 6-6 gets you home. That's why, like, sometimes you look at like 11.5, which is good, but then you look like a 13.5. You're like, oh my God, now I need 14 runs, and I don't have, that extra innings insurance play in regards to it. Not that means everything, but it means something. I'm with you on 12.5. Definitely attainable there. Aaron Bailey, good morning. Jumping in late. What's up, everybody? What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you indeed. Big Most. Dude, y'all go Guardians, Padres, first 5 over 4. Take for 7 if price gets crazy. We're going to talk about that one here in just 1 second. I like the way you think, big dog. So here are our picks for anybody who might have jumped in a little bit later. I'm on the Mets Marlins over 7.5, Giants Astros over 8, Diamondbacks Yankees over 8.5. Greg's on UC Irvine plus 1.5. The NIT Loyola Chicago -2. San Francisco Giants money line. San Francisco Giants first 5 team total over 1.5. And then the NCAA Women's Final Four parlay, South Carolina money line and a UConn money line. Okay, man. Big Scott, great to see you too, brother. Great to see you too. Absolutely. Okay, now jumping into Major League Baseball, let's take a look here, buddy, at some weather, okay? Because we have insane weather going on today, and it's not great. Now, I'm not saying that it's bad, but it's not great for what, blowing out 17 miles an hour. Let's take a look at the first that we have. All right, Giants and Astros. Now, I put this up, understand, this is in a retractable dome stadium, so the weather doesn't really apply, but it does. And I wanted to tell you why. Okay. You got 14.5 mile an hour winds blowing directly out. That doesn't necessarily mean much at all. Right. However, you're going to have, the roof open and you're going to have some wind, but what you're going to have is humidity. All right. Now, again, it's not the same as just your standard open air stadium. It's not, but it is there. Like you're opening the roof. Like it's not like you're just getting rid of it. Okay. So I say all that to say you're going to have solid hitting conditions in the Giants Astros game today. Greg broke it down earlier. Again, don't get in the habit of using weather in stadiums that have retractable roofs because it's not real, but part of it is real. So I just wanted to hit on that one, and we could just use it, beginning of the season for anybody who's kind of new to weather. Now, next one. Guardians of the Padres. Okay. We're just talking about that one. I most had it. Look at this wind. 17.9 miles an hour blowing west to northwest, meaning it's blowing left to right. What you're going to get are insane sweeps, all right, with line drives, with fly balls, and it could be great. You're a left-handed hitter, could be great. If you're a right-handed pull hitter, could be tough to pull one out. Greg, you're a California guy. Any thoughts here?
Bad day to be a seagull.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking out the window right now, and it's been dumping here for the last day and a half, and it's been windy and cold and rainy. So, I'm not surprised. San Diego, though, with that wind blowing that direction, small foul ground. So, there is that factor of it. When I see something like that, I miss the old Oakland Coliseum because there's everything's getting pulled into an entire foul region, which is an entire infield basically over there in the old Coliseum. So that's where foul balls go to die out there. But yeah, I mean, what you're looking at is what's everything that's going to be a hard hit to left field or left center going to do? It's going to die. It's not going to get there. It's going to get knocked out. It's going to get knocked down. On top of that, it is wet and windy too. So, their ball's not going to fly as well. It's getting stopped with, raindrops and everything else coming with it. So definitely a pitcher's kind of, as long as you could grip it, definitely a good pitcher's kind of day.
Yep. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Now, our final one here, Braves and the Dodgers. Now, this one's a little bit better if you're a left-handed hitter. Look at this. 16-mile-an-hour winds blowing out of right field. If you're a left-handed pull hitter, buddy, all right, you might be sending one. You might be sending a couple, man. And, again, temperature's not huge heavy in regards to, being super hot. Obviously, the game's going to be at night, but it's fine. There's nothing negative in regards to it. No precipitation. But, yeah, dude, I mean, those winds right there. Now, that one's real. That one's real. And I don't know what's going on with Freddie Freeman in the shower, okay? It is the injury that he had. But anybody that's left-handed, Shohei Ohtani, might be solid. Any thoughts you have out here?
Yeah, totally agree. You get those San Andreas winds down there, and they're pretty wild. So it's that it flows through LA pretty well there. And I mean, if it's showing you that, it's not only is it saying lefties hitting it well out, but anybody who's a right-handed hitter who's staying back and, putting that backspin on the ball to right center is just going to, Brett Boone is what I think about. Sit back and drive to right center. And this is that kind of dream day for a righty that can be patient. So, hopefully you've got somebody. I mean, what is it? It's May and Sale today. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Sale's going to have to pound inside right-handers and away on lefties hard. And if there's somebody that can do it, it's him. So, maybe today is a sneaky under. I looked at it last night. I wrote it down. I put it down and said, nope, I can't bet a Dodgers under right now. But
no.
But
you can't bet a Braves under.
Yeah. Exactly. So, if Sale goes out and deals in May, we know May has got great stuff if he can stay healthy, but it's difficult to want to take that under. An interesting thought that maybe a first 5, definitely some different ways to touch it. But as of right now, I wouldn't bet your money on the Dodgers under
no.
right now.
No. And you know what's crazy, man? Like so far, and I know, we're only less than a week into the season, but dude, run production is up and it's off of starters. Like we're seeing more runs in the first 5 than we are in the last 4. You know what I mean? So something interesting in regards to that. Now, got to play home runs. So wanted to go with some fascinating names today. Now, these are definitely heavily influenced by batter versus pitcher, historicals, right? And then hitting spots of where we have these said games. So here's how we get down. Kyle Tucker, Cubs, plus 425. Juan Soto, the Mets, plus 450. Jorge Polanco, the Mariners, plus 500. Paul Goldschmidt of the Yankees, plus 600. And Nolan Arenado of the Cardinals, all right, plus 800. All right, everybody in the crew, drop yours for sure. Country Kane, get a seat, my boy. Yeah, Greg, where you going, bud?
And I lean Kyle Tucker today, playing in that smaller ballpark. It's going to depend on what that weather looks like later today. Obviously, Sacramento's got, some interesting situations with it, but I do like that number. The other guys right now, I'm just not, we don't have the greatest faith. I'm still feeling piece by piece. We did talk about Swanson yesterday with the numbers. He went deep. We talked about Schwarber with the numbers. He went deep yesterday. I like Kyle Tucker again today. I think that he's in a good spot, a good position, in the right ballpark for it.
I agree. Look, I think that, I think all 5 of these are very live to the bomb. Like, I really like Kyle Tucker. I know that the Mets are facing, Alcantara, with the Marlins, but I like Soto. I'm going to go. For me, it's either Goldschmidt or Arenado. I'm going Goldie. I'm going Paul Goldschmidt plus 600. But God, Nolan Arenado plus 800 is not a bad play. But I'm going to go Goldie, man. I'm going to go Goldie at plus 600. Yeah. I'm going to go with that one for sure. Now, we've got some what do we got here? Oh, Justin said, AB, we got sats a day. What's the meal a day? All right, it's Tuesday. Now, Greg, I'm a big sandwich guy. I like sandwiches, whether, you got bread and meat that, whatever that you got from the store, or like Nashville is weirdly a tough place to find a good sandwich. The Northeast obviously kills it, with sandwiches. The West Coast kills it with sandwiches. Like I love like ciabatta bread. Like you can get me on almost any kind of bread, right? But like ciabatta bread, pepper jack cheese, some sort of, chipotle type sauce. And then, I like mixing in, some salami, pastrami. Like that's my type of sandwich, man. What about you?
Yeah, no, I always like a basic, Italian along those lines. We've got a couple good places over here. We used to have a great place called the Village Cheese House in the Bay Area, and a girl that played softball that I knew, her family owned it. One of those places you walk in and it literally had like 900 kinds of cheeses.
Yeah.
The pre-made sandwiches. And yeah, I would go and you'd get a Dutch crunch with pastrami sandwich with Dutch crunch, really good, nice spread of Swiss. And then they do the mustard mayo combo.
Yeah.
And above all else, I do love a good Dutch crunch. Sourdough I enjoy as well too, but it's few. It's hard because you'll get a great sandwich, but I mean, Subway being an example, it's $25 for a basic sandwich now. So,
dude, yes.
So there's some times I'm like, you know what? I'm going to create my own deli instead, and we'll go and buy everything and make 25 sandwiches I really like. But there are great spots. When I was at Carolina, spent a lot of time at JJ's down there with some sandwiches, and I miss that. And there's some phenomenal places in the South. Above all else, I've been craving some Biscuitville real bad lately, and I'm thousands of miles from any sweet tea or Bojangles, Biscuitville, or
yes.
I miss my breakfasts in the South.
I'll tell you what, man. I'll send you some. I'll send you a couple big jugs, man. Some Bojangles, Popeye sweet tea, Mrs. Winters. If anybody ever knew about Mrs. Winters sweet tea, it was absolutely fantastic, man. Tizzle says Dutch crunch hits different. Matty Ice said hot brown sandwich. All right, that's that Kentucky special right there, boy. That hot brown ain't no joke. Whether you're in Lexington, Louisville, Bowling Green, all across Kentucky, man. Hopkinsville, shout out to them, dude. Hot browns are for real. I absolutely agree with you. Lord says give him a Reuben. Big Tony, like Jersey Mike's, and hey, Publix subs. If anybody has never been in a Publix before, grocery store, right? Based out of Florida, all across, the Southeast. Publix subs are no joke. That chicken one that they have, dude, phenomenal, man.
Which the place I used to love that isn't around is Quiznos. Whatever happened to
Yes.
Quiznos was so good, and then it's gone, just like that.
They overextended, man. It's funny. I actually watched a documentary on them, and they overextended too far.
They were great.
Yeah, dude, they went crazy, man. Hey, but you're right though. Quiznos solid, man.
Now all I need with that is you need to just send me a nice flat of Yingling, and we'll be set.
I'll fire some off, man. Hey, Justin said Chiba Hut, bro. I am 1 mile away from a Chiba Hut. Randall Mims actually got me hooked on Chiba Hut. Google it. It is phenomenal, dude. I'm a big French dip guy, right? And the names are funny. It's all based off of, rolling one up, burning, right? Like Chiba Hut's fire. And their drinks, they have like old school Kool-Aid ready to go. And they have for dessert, and Justin he'll verify it. Dessert, they have Rice Krispie treat things that are, I swear to God, they're bricks. Huge. They're so good. So good. So yeah, gotta give Justin love on Chiba Hut. That's a good call. Miss Winters is gas, dude. Mrs. Winters is so good, dude.
I feel like after this conversation, I feel like I should be my true California. I should go to In-N-Out today.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Might as well enjoy it because I can.
Yeah, In-N-Out's finally coming to Nashville, man. Yeah, dude. I know. It's gonna do very well. Very, very well. Maddie's Kool-Aid on tap is the winner every day. I'm telling you, man. Big things ready to go. Kathy said Acuna also puts a different atmosphere in the air. Love the Braves, but damn, they 100. Kathy, 1,000%. You could not be more correct on every single bit of what you just said. Kathy is absolutely correct on that one, and it stinks because it's like the Braves are not a bad this is not a bad lineup. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of money, that's put into these guys, and she's right. Like. Besides Marcell Ozuna, like Matt Olson's got to pick it up. Austin Riley's got to pick it up. Michael Harris hit leadoff. You're gonna have to pick it up. So, Kathy, I thought that was absolutely a brilliant call. Okay, so those are home runs there. Let's see. Did we have anything else? Oh yeah. Okay, let me get the picks up here one more time for anybody who came in, and we had our stats of the day. Here we go. Okay. Mets Marlins over 7.5, Giants Astros over 8, Diamondbacks Yankees over 8.5. Greg's on UC Irvine in the NIT plus 1.5. Loyola Chicago -2. San Francisco Giants money line. San Francisco Giants first 5 team total over 1.5. And in the NCAA women's Final Four, 2-leg parlay. South Carolina money line and UConn money line. And you had some college baseball plays as well. What was the single one that you had?
We had Arizona today, University of Arizona money line, and then we parlayed St. Mary's with UC Irvine baseball as well.
Beautiful. Okay, and we'll be live at 3 p.m. Eastern today with all the totals and everything. But Got one more stat of the day for you. So we hit 5 stats of the day today. But, I mean, those were basketball. We had to have something going on in an actual game that's being played today. You know what? It's our first Major League Baseball one of the year. New York Yankees, they have hit the first 5 innings team total over in 6 of their last 8 home games. Like, they've been mashing. They were mashing the end last season. They're mashing this year. They got a torpedo out there. It's good to go. I don't have the number in front of me of what their first 5. I think it's low. It's like 2.5.
Yeah,
I think it's 2.5 at -130 or something, or -140. The last that I saw, it's crazy low. I actually think the Diamondbacks have a higher number. Take a look there. But again, the Yankees' first 5 innings, their team total, they've hit the over in 6 of their last 8 home games. Okay, so that's it. Greg, any final thoughts before we get out of here, buddy?
No, exciting week ahead. We're just plugging along. Baseball now as we get into slowly but surely. We'll get NHL playoffs coming around the corner and NBA playoffs, and Final Four will be here this weekend. So nice couple days of a little bit of reset, but endless Major League Baseball every day. So it's a fun time.
Yep, it absolutely is. And I thought Avi said it best. Good luck, everyone. A lot of games today between college and the pros. Good for a Tuesday. Absolutely it is. And we'll end on that one. Everybody, love all of y'all. Thank you so much for everything that you do for Driving the Line. You are driving the line for everybody here. All right. We'll be live 3 p.m. Eastern today, and we'll have a crew exclusive tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll get that posted up and ready to go on the YouTube page. If you want to be a part of that, all right, click the join button in the show description below. It's like $5. All right, get you covered. What is that, 4 cents a day? All right, we hit one bet. That'll cover it for you. We'll get you all set up. All right, everybody, best of luck. Cash these tickets, and we will see you at 3 p.m. Eastern. See ya.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody.